Hi, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Maxwell. Welcome to Seriously Cereal.
Thanks to our supporters on Patreon, we now post 2 episodes every Saturday.
You can support the show for as low as $2 a month, and you'll get awesome rewards.
Do you like to eat your cereal dry? Then you're a snacker.
Or do you prefer it with milk? Then you're a spooner.
Today's cereal is Post Raisin Bran
versus Kellogg's Raisin Bran. It's Seriously Cereal versus mode! Alright, so Jessica is another one of our patrons. Welcome to the show, Jessica.
Thank you.
Always glad to have a guest on here, especially when they're one of my patrons.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Now, you specifically chose Raisin Bran for this show. Mind telling the audience why, like what your personal experiences with Raisin Bran is?
Well, Raisin Bran is one of those things. It's a type of cereal. It's not, it's not fancy. It's not colorful or anything like that. But I feel like it's healthy. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I'm not sure. But I feel like I'm having something that has good nutritional value and tastes good if I have it. Now, I don't always have time for breakfast in the morning. Not even time for cereal sometimes. But I feel like as far as the choices go, it's one of the more healthier options. And it tastes pretty good.
Well, I mean, it does have it has like the bran component, which so that's like good fiber, and it has like fruit in the raisins. So, fun fact about me: grapes are one of my least favorite fruits, just for like texture's sake. I actually don't mind raisins that much. I think it literally is like texture. Like as I'm sure all of you know by now, I don't like fruit, but like I'm beginning to think it is like really like a texture thing.
Interesting.
But before we start comparing, I guess compare the brands. So I guess I'm comparing. But what's interesting to note is that Raisin Bran itself is not trademarked. Now you might notice that Post has its registered trademark, and Kellogg's does not. There's a tiny little registered trademark sign right here, but that's for the whole thing. Kellogg's Raisin Bran is trademarked. Raisin Bran is not. That's why there's no trademark sign here. It's on Post.
So both cereals, both brands can call it Raisin Bran instead of one having to say Bran Flakes with raisins.
Yeah.
They can both be called Raisin Bran.
Honestly,
interesting.
Honestly, it makes sense. It's kind of like vague enough that it seems kind of silly to trademark it. It's like Rice Krispies. It's like Krispies makes it unique enough where you can make it a name. Frosted Flakes, that has like alliteration. Raisin Bran? It's like raisins with bran flakes. It's like that's too vague to like make this. Oh yeah, it's Brandy the sun. You can't do that.
I don't know. I feel like Raisin Bran should be trademarked though.
Yeah.
I wonder which one came first because what is bran? Bran is a grain.
Yeah.
So Raisin Bran is not grown. It doesn't come out of a field.
Yeah.
It's a cereal. That's why it's called Raisin Bran. I bet the lawyers really went after this one for a while to get this labeling on both boxes. Yeah. Somebody's fighting somewhere.
I think this is the first versus where these cereals specifically look different. And that's not saying much since I've only done one before this, but like right off the bat, you can clearly see which is which. Like Kellogg's Raisin Bran, the flakes are a lot darker. Meanwhile, Post, the flakes are actually bigger, consistently, and a little bit brighter. The raisins are actually about the same, like just from where I'm saying. Would you say that's about the same?
Yeah, they both are delicious looking and sugar coated.
Yeah.
And yes, definitely. But you're right. The flakes on the Kellogg's are darker and more like curled, almost look more dense.
Oh yeah,
these ones are more wafery.
Yes.
I'd say on the Post.
Totally. Personally, Kellogg's Raisin Bran is something that I did not expect myself to start liking, but I did. When I first tried it, I was like, okay, I don't like fruit, I'm just going to try this. But I found out, this is actually not so bad, because it had the raisins, but I thought they'd get all soggy and gross and like milk. But no, they don't. They like maintain a little bit of a tough chewiness, which I actually really like. It contrasts well with the flakes.
Yeah.
I definitely say I'm more of a spooner than a snacker when it comes to Raisin Bran, but that's just me, personally.
Yeah.
It makes a nice experience, and honestly, I think brand-related cereals in general go really well with milk. Like if you know Crackling Oat Bran, that's actually a cereal that
Those are like cookies.
Yeah, I know, right?
Those are like dessert.
Yeah, but like those are fantastic in milk. I mean, they're so high in calories, but it's like,
yeah, exactly.
It really doesn't taste like an oatmeal cookie, like in cereal form.
Yeah, I would have to agree. As far as this being a snacker type cereal, I'm more of a spooner because to be a good snack cereal, it has to be something that is, when you put it in your mouth, it has all the flavor combined.
Yeah.
And Raisin Bran is two separate components. And when you eat it, like in my opinion, when I eat Raisin Bran, I have to have just the perfect proportion of raisins to flakes.
Yes.
Otherwise, it just tastes like bran or raisins.
Yeah, like too many raisins, too many flakes, that's honestly a kind of a problem. You have to have like that balance, like at least like 2 raisins, like 1 or 2 raisins for every like 5 flakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a nice even balance.
Here's a weird thing that I used to do with Raisin Bran, and I've managed to get over it because I just really got self-conscious and thought it was really weird. When I'd open a new box of Raisin Bran, I would take out the bag, like this.
Yeah.
It sits on the shelf at the grocery store like this, and I was obsessed. I was certain that all of the raisins were in the bottom. So I would literally like go like this. And if I was short on time with the new box, I would just flip it upside down and open it from this end. Just so I made sure I was not getting all flakes because I think I just got burned too many times. I would open a fresh box and it's like, darn it!
Yeah.
It's all flakes! And I think maybe my mom got mad at me or something because I was probably digging in there, like trying to get the raisins out. It's kind of like if you ever known anybody to take all the marshmallows out of Lucky Charms?
No, fortunately not.
And then it's just lame Cheerios, basically.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Lucky Charms is like about the combination, really.
Absolutely.
Because without it, they're just Cheerios minus like a tasty oat flavor. They're honestly bland.
And then this is the other reason why I've stopped, because it doesn't fit on the shelf right after you do this. And I'm sorry, I've just shared too much of my OCD problem.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, no problem. Again, you're going into your history of cereal.
My name is Jessica. I have OCD. Thank you.
Well, hey, some disability representation, I guess.
It doesn't feel like
I'm Maxwell, and I'm on the autism spectrum. There we go.
My God, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Eat Raisin Bran and admit our issues.
Yeah. I also have asthma, and also hyperIgs.
And you have tissues.
Yes, and allergies all the time. But that's not very appetizing, so should we just dive right in and give these a try?
Yes, Maxwell, I would love that.
All right. Alrighty. Again, guys, we don't know which cereal this is. The only thing we know now is that we both have the same cereal. So it's not like I got Post and Jessica got Kellogg's. No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So we'll criticize the same thing. But regardless, before I dig in, I should note that Post, I believe, has actually partnered with Sunmade, which is a rather big raisin brand, as it were. So
not Raisin Bran, but Raisin Brand.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It's a nice little pun there. But,
that's interesting. And the Kellogg's didn't have brand of raisins noted.
Yeah.
It's called marketing or something like that.
Yeah. But let's see if I can bring this food to my mouth without spilling milk all over myself.
Are you milked up?
Yep.
So you've got, okay. So now we're just going to start eating, right?
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
That is definitely Raisin Bran.
Oh my gosh. You know what that tastes like?
What?
It tastes like the communion wafers at church.
Oh.
I just had a flashback to childhood.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is weird. I guess they were made with bran. It's actually better for snacking than I would expect.
I don't really know which this one is, but it's pretty good. It's about what I remember from the last time I had Raisin Bran. Raisins are good and chewy. They still hold up very nicely in the milk, not too soggy. The bran flakes soak up the milk, but they never get like overly soggy like frosted flakes do. Yeah, but it's still good, really good.
no matter what cereal it is, I don't like them to get too soggy.
Oh, no, definitely.
I have to have a particular way of eating it. I have to, this is why I'm being a snacker today instead of a spooner. Because I would have the bowl like this. So I could have all the cereal up on one end and the milk pooling together. Maxwell, you're really missing out not by seeing this. So that my cereal doesn't get too soggy.
I just dropped some flakes.
I spit one.
I refuse to let them stay on the table though.
Very awkward. You know, this is very frustrating because having a blindfold, I really can't find any raisins.
Yeah.
I'm sure on camera you can see me missing. See here? Hey, raisin. Everybody sees me getting all these raisins and they're like, oh, you got it, you got it. Oh, you dropped it.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can try it together.
That's how it is with the spoon too, I'm sure.
I'm kind of imagining.
I'm gonna start leaning over the bowl so I stop dropping all the freaking flakes. It really is better with some raisins. It's like,
yeah.
a way to keep pass through the bran flakes, but then like stop at the raisin, like then you get a little bit of chewiness.
Yeah.
It's like everything blends together and it's just delicious, you know? And this is someone who honestly doesn't really like care for raisins just on their own. I mean, that's just me. Not really a texture thing, it's just I don't often pick them up, that's all.
Right. Well, I grew up, my Aunt Joan
Yeah.
absolutely detested raisins.
Oh.
And so she called them dried flies. And still, nobody in my family except for me really likes raisins. They don't like, I don't particularly like them in baked goods because I feel like they get really squishy and creepy.
Yeah.
And when they're dried like this, they're firm.
Yeah.
But they feel like in muffins and stuff.
Yeah, that might actually be why I don't like getting raisins just on their own, because they are a little more squishy. Like, here they're dried and they're like harder and they're like more chewy.
More like a candy or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they've been sitting in the dry cereal for so long.
Yeah, and they're like, and they have like that sugar on them too, so that might be it too.
Oh yeah.
You know, something occurred to me, like related to what you were saying before about Lucky Charms. I don't know anybody who picks out the marshmallows today. But Brienne, I believe on one of the episodes I wasn't present for, actually did mention that when she was younger, she was that person. She used to pick all the marshmallows out of the bag, like eat them herself, then put it back and just like leave it there for everybody else.
Brienne. I have one of those in my household. I can't remember which one it was. Actually, I think all three of my children have done that at one point because you'd go to grab a bowl of Lucky Charms. I mean, not my number one choice, but you know, like, oh, I need some cereal, I have time. Grab the Lucky Charms, and you're like, what? There's no green clovers or purple hearts or horseshoes or unicorns or stars. What are they? Purple hearts, green clover, blue diamonds, purple horseshoes, pink elephants. Look at that. You're basically stuck with these things. And so, I think it was Anna. It was my daughter Anna. So she found out that you can actually get on Amazon just the marshmallows. Just the marshmallows. So she would buy them. I think somebody bought them for her as a birthday gift once, so that she could have just the marshmallows.
I'm not surprised they haven't gone like a Captain Crunch route and done like, oops, all marshmallows.
Yeah, oops. It's like, psych, you're going to have a really nice cereal, but Brienne. Brienne.
The unicorns are my favorite new marshmallow of those.
They're very cute.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to eat unicorns. I mean, that's, come on. Unicorns? I don't know.
The mystical creatures, they're not to be eaten.
I know.
They take you on magical trips to Candy Mountain and to see the Banana King, and then they rob your house.
Well, I think that if you eat unicorns, I bet you hallucinate or something afterwards.
Alright, cereal number 2.
This time I have my hands on the bowl, so I don't have to search so hard.
Oh! Okay, the flakes seem a bit bigger, a little crunchier. The raisins, though, are way more flavorful. Like, oh my gosh.
These flakes are weird.
Yeah,
They're super chewy.
Yeah.
Like,
the flakes are a bit less flavorful, I'd say. A little drier.
Without milk, I say these are pretty hard to chew. This one seems to need milk, for sure. The other, definitely different. Okay, here we go. The Great Hunt for Raisin.
Now, what I'm noticing right now is, back in the day, when it came to raisins, we always got like Sun-Maid, like that brand.
Yeah.
This tastes very similar to how I remember those tasting. But it's interesting though that the raisins are still hard, like as a Raisin Bran would be. So, judging by that, I'm going to say that this is probably post, just because of how similar the taste is.
Well, I can't remember what Sun-Maid brand raisins taste like, but last time I had raisins out of like a box, they don't have sugar all over them. So for me, it's hard to compare. But I did just taste one of these raisins, and compared to the last one, these raisins were squishier, like softer, not quite as dried out for some reason. But I don't have the milk in mine.
They seem a little sweeter too, actually.
Yeah, like really sugary. Is that a raisin? There is one. See, this is really hard to find a raisin.
It is.
Oh yeah, pure sugar. Actually, well, these raisins seem to have more sugar, but the flakes have like 0 sugar.
Yeah.
Super bland, hard to chew.
It's like the raisins are actually really good, but like the flavor balance is kind of thrown off now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like before, it's like both flavors are good on their own, but when you put them together, it's like really good.
Yeah.
These, it's like, I think the raisins are really good, but like the flakes leave something to be desired.
I think this one, I'm gonna try and taste it together, but I think this one's really important to have both. Whereas the other one, the flakes kind of stood on their own a little better as a snacker.
Yeah, it's like I just got like a spoonful of like raisins and the flakes. It's like the raisins like overpower the flakes totally. And honestly, the flakes just kind of taste like cardboard. I hate to say it. And not in a good way, like Cheerios or Kix or whatever. It's like, it's bland, but in a delicious way, and it soaks up the milk, and it's, no, it's like, this is like soggy cardboard in a way.
Is cardboard ever a good thing when you're eating it?
Okay, you know, it's funny, we keep going back to Lucky Charms, but let me say something. Lucky Charms. Everyone can agree that those, like, the regular shapes are really bland, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of like that. It's like that bland, oaty flavor mixed with the super sweetness of the powderiness of the marshmallows. It's like a fantastic combination.
Well, you have to have them together, though, because otherwise, like, when you chew, I don't know how Brienne did it, and my daughter Anna, because when you chew those marshmallows by themselves, it's like, it squeaks on your teeth like nails on a chalkboard. It's like, ah! But if you eat the cereals by themselves, it's very sad. It's a combination required cereal.
And it just, that's like, I think that's when like a bland cereal is like good. It's like, combine a rubber bland cereal with a super sweet marshmallow and you get something that's really nice. That's why I don't like stuff like Fruit Loops with marshmallows, because you're just combining sweet with another type of sweet. And it's like,
well, agreed. I saw those on the shelf, and you recently reviewed those too.
Yeah, both Fruit Loops and the marshmallow Fruit Loops. And it's like,
I know you love Fruit Loops.
I love Fruit Loops so much. Go watch those upper episodes. See how much I love Fruit Loops.
I love Fruit Loops.
Man, so good. I love Fruit Loops. I love fruit, especially grapes. I love grapes. But
Christmas, we're going to be sending Maxwell a fruit basket.
Oh, fantastic! That's my favorite thing.
Lots of grapes.
Grapes. I love it. It's funny how we keep like going back to Lucky Charms, but it's like Raisin Bran. It's like it's such a like very tried and true cereal. There's not that much to talk about. It's like, but I will say that I wasn't sure if these two like cereals would differ from each other, but I can say now that they definitely did.
Totally. Night and day difference.
Yeah.
Combination required her.
Honestly, I would not have expected that from Raisin Bran, but yeah, a lot you can do with this sort of thing, I guess.
And I had no idea that Raisin Bran was a term.
I know. It's weird.
Lawyers must be going crazy.
So, okay, that was very interesting, but do you mind if I go first?
No, please do.
Right. So, as a spooner, which I will say is very interesting with a blindfold.
I wish I would have seen that.
Yeah. You gotta like make sure the spoon is like rotated, right? It reminds me of like one of those freaking like low quality simulator games where you have to like individually like press a button on your keyboard to move your finger.
It's like being a toddler again.
Yeah. But as spooner, bowl number 1, I'm going to say that we usually get like Kellogg's because the sun mascot always pops out to me. But I'm going to say bowl number 1 was Kellogg's. But regardless, that was the taste of like Raisin Bran that I recognize, like the oaty flavor of the flakes, the mild sweetness of the raisins, but they're still like nice and chewy in the milk. I'm gonna give it a 5, because honestly, it's not like one of my cereals I usually go to, but it's really good. It's like whenever I have it, I'm never like, oh, I should have gotten, I don't know, Rice Krispies instead. I mean, sometimes I should have gotten Captain Crunch instead because I love Captain Crunch. But, but whenever I get it, I'm never disappointed. It's never like, oh, this is gross. It's always like, nope, this was a good choice. I love this. So, and bowl 1 was more the taste I remember. So, I'll give that a 5. Bowl number 2, judging by the raisins, I'm not really sure about the flakes. They didn't seem like bigger than usual or not, but it might have been a little bit. But I'm gonna say that was the Post just because of the raisin flavor. I'm gonna give that a 3. It's still good, but the flavor balance is a little bit off, and I just wasn't as crazy about it as I was the other bowl. That's basically all there is to it.
Well, I would say as a snacker, bowl number 1 was definitely better because the flakes stood by themselves. They were palatable, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
But in general, I would say as a snacker, if I had other cereals to choose from, I would give it a 2.
Oh.
But I love Raisin Bran.
Yeah.
But I think it needs milk because it makes it combine, and you can't eat it with a blindfold because you can't get the proper combination.
Yeah. And even if you don't have a spoon, you should be able to pick it all up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was excruciating. I'm sure for everybody, it was like, where's the raisin? What's the difference? But definitely bowl number 1, I would say was okay as a snack, and each component had its own flavor. Bowl number 2, I'm gonna give that one a 0 as a snacker, just because literally the flakes were not good to chew. They were hard to chew. They kind of felt like they wouldn't break down. And then the raisins were so different. And the flakes were super not sweet at all.
Yeah,
no sweet.
Definitely.
And then the raisins were like pure sugar. So just chew as a snacker, not so much, but with milk, I think it would be delicious.
Yeah.
Now, I feel so I buy Kellogg's Raisin Bran, and I think number 2, the one that I liked least as a snacker, I think that was Kellogg's to me, because the texture of the flakes, when I think about it with the milk, they feel like they're gonna hold up better in the milk and not get soggy. And the first one, those wafery flakes aren't what I'm used to in the milk, so I think that's Post, but the flakes were actually pretty good. I'd eat them.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty, let's see what the boxes are. Really? Bowl number 1 was Post. Bowl number 2 was Kellogg's. Okay, that was the exact opposite of what I thought those were.
That's
I really thought bowl number 2 was Post. It really tasted like Sundae. It was so much sweeter. That took me by surprise. Bowl number 1 was more the flavor I knew. I could have sworn that was Kellogg's.
Maybe because of your experience with the Sun-made raisins.
Maybe. It's just like it didn't taste as sweet as I remembered it. I don't know.
Interesting.
That's really cool. Another great versus episode comparison there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
That not so much of a snacker, but with milk, looks like you could probably be satisfied with both.
Yeah, just maybe not with a blindfold.
A little messy.
Yeah.
Do you eat Raisin Bran? If so, what kind do you like? Make sure you like and comment below if you have any feedback for us.
And be sure to join us over at Patreon. You can chat with me every day, and you'll get a new original piece of artwork every month. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next time.